Oh, hey, eighth graders. Happy day to you. Oh, hey, Caesar. Hey, we wanted to kind of wrap up chapter 11 here, help you with that review that we want you to finish by tomorrow. Chapter 11 has all been about that Industrial Revolution, this period in the 1800s where America changes how we live. It's a perfect storm of the War of 1812 ending and us being better at manufacturing and producing stuff ourselves. You combine that with some new inventions and ideas like mass production, interchangeable parts, and you really see the country taking two different paths. The North gets transformed by factories. More and more factories start popping up in these large cities. People are leaving the farms to come to the cities to work. That includes a large wave of immigration from Europe. And so in the North, we see an economy dominated by the factory system, large cities, and a huge wave of immigration to fill those factory jobs. Meanwhile, in the South, to meet the demands of those factories in the North, we have basically the plantation system that dominates the Southern economy. These large plantations, mainly used to produce cotton, among other crops, but with Eli Whitney's cotton gin, it became the cash crop of the day. More and more slaves are having to endure that cruel treatment, 14 to 16-hour workdays, denied basically any rights of normal humanity. And so the South really takes the path of plantations, farming, and slavery. Now, this is a problem because as the country continues to grow and push west, we need to have more and more discussions and conversations and decisions made about, well, is that new territory we're adding to the country, should it be free territory or slave territory? This came to a head when we were looking to add Missouri in 1820 and 1821. The Missouri Compromise added a slave state in Missouri, a free state in Maine. It drew a line across the country saying slavery here is no good, slavery underneath here is okay. It's a temporary solution that will not work. It's just one of the causes that will eventually lead to the country splitting up. North doing their thing, the South doing their thing, and where we'll end this year with that Civil War. So that was chapter 11. Now, you had to do this review. Let's see, in first hour, 16 of you have done it. 12 of you still need to complete it. Let's see who's winning. First hour or sixth hour? Sixth hour, we have 13 turned in, 13 still to go. So about half of you need to get off your butt and do something today. So let me help you out. Let's just take this review. You want to do it, Caesar? Yes. Okay. Let's try it. The gradual change of machines taking the place and doing the work of humans. That's the Industrial Revolution. Duh. Yeah, we know that. So the Industrial Revolution relies on capitalists, the people who put up the money to build that factory and pay those workers, put those machines in there. They're the capitalists. They're the ones who get paid first when you start turning a profit. Mass production, again, it's a new idea where we're rapidly manufacturing large numbers of identical objects instead of just building things one at a time. So to do that, we're going to put machines and workers in one place. That place is going to call the factory. And these unskilled workers are going to be able to work there because any idiot can put together interchangeable parts. These are identical pieces that could be assembled quickly by unskilled workers. Again, if something breaks, you don't have to replace the whole thing, just one part. Now, early life in the factory is tough. There's not good lighting. There's very little, if any, fresh air. You're working next to these dangerous machines that rip off fingers and arms and cause all sorts of work time injuries. You get no compensation for said injuries. You don't work, you don't get paid. And by the way, you're working 12 to 14-hour days, about 6 days a week usually. All that stuff, life in the factory was tough. Now, as factories grew in the country, so did cities. Urbanization, more people moving to the city because they lost their job on the farm. So less rural, more urban. That's true. Now, why were some people moving to the cities during the Industrial Revolution. Let's get rid of this email. Well, they had more factories and they attracted unskilled workers. Now, those early cities, nasty. Am I right, Caesar? They're filthy. There's no clean water. There's lots of disease. Everything's on fire because it's built out of wood. Tough life in the early cities. Let's talk about some of that new technology, the telegraph. How did it help factories? Well, if you're a factory in the East, you could communicate what you need in the West in a matter of hours rather than weeks. It just sped up communication. How did the advancement of farm equipment affect the growth of cities? Well, once you lost your job on the farm to a machine, you moved to the city to work in a factory. With the invention of the sewing machine, clothes could be produced in larger quantities, and that made clothes less expensive. Better for you and I. Yeah, it was good, Caesar. Steamboats, clipper ships, railroads, they all make transportation and shipping goods faster and more efficient. We have a huge wave of immigration coming to this country. Cheap land, an opportunity to make money. Their hometown or home country was in the middle of some really bad stuff. All of those reasons. But when they came here, nativists didn't make them feel very welcome. They wanted to keep America pure and essentially white and prevent any immigrants from coming to this country, so they faced discrimination. Cotton gin. It picked a machine and separated seeds much faster than any human could. Again, humans still needed to get them out from the fields, but it could process the cotton much faster than humans. So because of this growing need for cotton, there's 4 million slaves in the United States by 1860. Their lives were controlled in all aspects by these slave codes or laws that basically stripped them of all rights, like they can't read or write, they can't meet in large groups, they can't leave the property, they're not allowed to own property, all of that stuff. Most slaves were doing the heavy work in the fields. Some, they worked slow, they pretended not to know what to do, they broke equipment, they escaped, they revolted, but all of that stuff came with the fear of the harsh punishment that would come with it. More stuff in chapter 11. We're building turnpikes and toll roads to move out west. Canals. Hey, it's just a faster way to ship things, so we literally dug rivers. And again, as the country is growing west, slavery is becoming more and more of an issue. So I submit my answers. How do you think we did, Caesar? I don't know. Well, let's just view our score. Since it's unscored, it's not going to give you any grade. But you can just go through. Spinning Jenny. Oh, I put the wrong answer on that one. It's factory. What an idiot. I did that to test you guys to make sure you were paying attention. All of that is, all the other stuff is correct. If you watch this video, I'm sure it helped you with your chapter 11 review, which hopefully you can complete by tomorrow morning so we can move into chapter 12. All right, is anyone still listening? I know you are, Caesar. I'm talking to the kids out there. Probably not. No. But it was worth a shot. Hope you guys learned something. Bye-bye.